All your base, Chris.
Hello, all your base Chris here, with another one of those pesky MiSTer videos. Well, today, this video is going to make you feel completely bewildered or incredibly old, or possibly both. Who's to say? So what we're going to do today is we're going to use my MiSTer's FPGA core Commodore 64 recreation to contact the interwebs, or more precisely, to contact a bulletin board. Because back in the old days, hey, listen to your Uncle Chris when I say this, back in the olden days, we didn't have the fancy internet with all of those graphics and JPEGs and YouTubes and all that malarkey. What we used to have was bulletin board systems where you'd tie up your parents' phone lines, pick up the phone, and then you'd literally just dial into somebody else's computer, and they'd have files and ASCII graphics and all that malarkey. It's great. But again, you had to be a certain age, and I do vaguely remember. So here we are, Commodore 64. Couple of things you need to set up if you want to do this. You need to go into your URT mode and make sure that you have modem selected, TCP, and 2400 is a good baud rate to start with. You can possibly adjust that, but it works fine with 2400, so stick with that and change it if you want to have a bit of a play. Secondly, you need to make sure that your joysticks, see here it says user port, that needs to be set to UART as well. Otherwise, you'll get garbage popping up in your terminal. So, lastly, you need some software to get your terminal running. So I suggest CCGMS Ultimate. That's what's worked best for me, but there are other versions available. Once you've loaded your disk image into the MiSTer, it's the typical load, speech mark, asterisk, which is bracket right on my keyboard, close bracket, then comma 8, which means load the first file you find on disk drive number 8, which is the first disk drive on the MiSTer FPGA and most Commodore 64s. Hit return. It's now going to load. Give it a few seconds and it will say ready, and then you can hit run. Type run and it'll go ping, ping. Lovely. That was quick, wasn't it? Here we are, we're in our terminal. So all this is a method of talking to the virtual modem in your MiSTer. So if you type AT, okay, it's listening, it's ready. And this is a little bit of kung fu typing in. We're going to connect to a BBS called the 13th floor, which I'm already a member of, and I'm going to show you how it looks. It's really quite funky. It's a great slice of history. So to connect to a bulletin board, it's AT, which stands for, that's your modem command, DT for dial tone, because, you know, telephone. And then you literally just type the address. And to get to the 13th floor, it's 13th dot hoyvision.com. And the port is 6400. And hit return. We're ringing. Connected, and here we are. Please select your user experience. Well, because this is a fancy Commodore 64, we're going to have the full graphical go. Ooh. And we are having a 40-column display, so we'll leave that as a default. This is what the internet used to look like, kids. Isn't this great? The 13th floor. If at any point you want to stop the scrolling, Control and S will do it. Let's have a look and see if I've got any mail. See if I'm popular. Oh, never mind then. Now let's see. We need a user ID which is easy to remember, nice on the ears. Do I exist? Yes, so far. Yep, seems that way. No password for you. If you don't have a user account, it will allow you to create one. It does ask for a lot of information, which, you know, you're free to lie about, I'm sure. I wouldn't, because that's lying is wrong. These are great. They're like little communities. They've got their own little games. You can download files from them, upload in some cases. They have like graffiti walls where you can just say, "All your base Chris was here." Ooh, 100 credits for this call. I'm allowed one call every 30 minutes. And the last caller was somebody called Audio Base Chris. I must have been testing this before I did the video. I love this sort of thing, I really do. This isn't my local time. I'm not up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, not intentionally anyway. At my age, sometimes you do have to get up and you don't need to know. Right, moving on. No new news. Well, that's good. No news is good news. Display last week? No, we'll just move on. Ooh. Shall we write something? Scanning for new writings. Add my words of wisdom? Yes. Hello. Popped on to do a quick YouTuber vid of this fine BBS. You're all... No, whoa, hang on. Let's do a... You're all doing very well. Oh, no, too many. Let's just, let's do a nice love you. Here we are. So net wall, activity graph, list network knows your stats. I'm going to hit quit because this is the pre-login menu. So once you quit out of here, it takes you into your login properly. No, nobody likes me. We know that. So some good stuff here. If I type BB, that's going to bring up other bulletin boards that they recommend. The Pirate's Cove. Afterlife. Afterlife doesn't appear to be working at the minute. Or if it is, I couldn't connect to it. Isn't that cool? I hope you were watching all that because you can then go on and connect to your own ones as well. Subboards. Think of this as like Reddit, kids. This is a subreddit, but it's not. We're going to the main forum. I want to see what's going on. Isn't it great, eh? I make no apologies for being overexcitable again. We are still loading. There we go. Ooh, all this stuff. I hope I hope people don't mind that I'm putting their stuff on display. At this point, folks, if you see anything on here you're upset, the content isn't generated by me. So, sorry. Still loading. Remember, this is pre-broadband days. You'd literally take your phone and you'd put it onto a cradle and it would connect to the BBS. And then, of course, if somebody picked up the phone while you were doing it, connection would be utterly destroyed. total posts. 1. I know, it's thrilling, isn't it? You can also mount, say, a virtual blank disk drive to this and download files from a BBS. I'm not doing any of that because that's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm doing here. And also, it's far too complicated and I don't really know how to do it. Okay. I hate to say it, but I'm getting impatient. Right, so GF, General Files. Movie files, by the way, don't think you're about to download the Snyder Cut from here. These are ASCII-based video files, such as the text Star Wars thing that's Easter egg on the MiSTer. There you are. That's something for you to find, isn't it? News and events bulletins. Let's see what's going on here. Nashville bombings. Ooh, I don't fancy that. Let's open up number 1. Oh, how nice. Look at that. I am famous. Right. I'm going to gracefully quit out of this because I don't know what happens if you just disconnect. I imagine it's fine with it, but... am I leaving? Yes. Regretfully so. Disconnect. And it'll say carrier lost, and that'll be it. No carrier. There we go. We are disconnected again. Isn't that cool? So yeah. Again, there's loads of... Go online and look up BBS numbers because there's loads of them still going. And you've got Amiga versions and stuff. So you can connect to BBSs with the Commodore 64, of course, the PC core, the Amiga core, Atari ST, etc., etc. Quite a lot of the cores do support the modem through the Ethernet. And it's just, again, MiSTer FPGA. Well, I think... Excuse me while I press a button. I think that's pretty much covered it. You've been absolutely wonderful as always. I'm looking forward to hopefully cracking 500 subscribers this week, which would be wonderful. So if you do fancy doing that, that'd be good. Obviously, I'd love to get to the mystical 1,000 subscribers because apparently that means you're important or something. But leave me comments, all criticisms or anything. I love to hear any comments. I try to interact with people as much as possible because, let's be fair, I haven't got much else going on. You've been absolutely lovely again. Goodbye.